Coming up on News Live at 6, the Central New York Jazz Band has been a mainstay in the local scene. What's coming up for their next gig?
Plus, Mayor Ben Walsh spoke with community members last night about a new supermarket planned to open up in Valley Plaza.
And a military couple owned their own independent bookstore. News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
We are now 3 days away from Halloween, and DPS has outlined what they will do to maintain campus safety. Welcome into News Live at 6. I'm Isabella Galan.
And I'm Jackson Breslin. During last night's meeting, Student Government Association meeting, Chief of Campus Safety Michael Bunker and DPS Sergeant Liz Tatia Ramirez spoke with SGA members about department structure and engagement with students. When asked about concerns with ICE, Bunker said, quote, "I'll tell you right now that ICE is not going onto campuses," end quote. Bunker said if students see ICE officers attempt to enter campus, they should reach out to him and Deputy Chief John Sardino. Bunker was also asked about what safety measures will be taken this Halloween weekend, to which he says that there will be 2 or 3 times the normal Friday night enforcement.
Well, a new grocery store is set to open on Syracuse's south side, bringing fresh food options to a community that's been without a full-service supermarket since 2018.
Citrus TV's Skylar Smith tells us how the project is hoping to make a difference.
For years, residents in Syracuse's south side have struggled with limited access to fresh and affordable groceries. Now, activist Ron DeVisi alongside the Syracuse government are aiming to turn that around.
How long are we going to stay being the most impoverished city in the nation?
VC's advocacy work was a key reason why Syracuse was able to secure a $1.7 million state grant to help build a new full-service grocery store, says Kevin Race.
Fighting for this store for so many years, it really was, and that was feedback I received from New York State, like that was what made our application so powerful.
Mayor Ben Walsh spoke at a community meeting last night promoting the project, calling it a major step toward improving food access and economic growth on the south side.
In order to ensure that our constituents, that our neighbors have a chance to be successful, we need to remove the barriers standing in front of them, starting with meeting their most basic needs.
The grocery store is planned to be built behind me at Valley Plaza. Residents say they're hopeful but still cautious about whether the grocery store can succeed and stay in the neighborhood.
At first, you're skeptical because this certain spot has had 2 companies fail in this area. So it's like, what are we looking to do differently to make sure that it succeeds this time?
Ultimately, though, Kershaw hopes this will contribute to something bigger.
We say food desert, but really there isn't anything around. We don't have any third spaces. We don't have any of those community areas for students to go to. So I'm hoping that it's a natural progression for people to start getting more involved in their local government, but as well as their community.
Another resident, Sheila, agrees with Kershaw's sentiments.
We needed something here close by, especially for the people that doesn't have transportation. But our community, being on the south side area, needs to come together.
The grocer behind the new store, A.K. Cade, says that he understands those concerns. Cade operates a similar store in a comparable economic area in Buffalo and told the Syracuse community that he'll do everything in his power to make this one succeed.
I promise you this, if we do fail, it won't be because of lack of effort.
The new grocery store is set to open in May. For Citrus TV News, I'm Skylar Smith.
Thanks, Skylar. And from a grocery store to a bookstore, a brand new bookstore had its grand opening in Manlius this past weekend.
Our Sophia DeStasso shares the story of the military couple behind it and what led them to Central New York.
Being a military family means moving often. This is something the Browning family knows very well.
So you were always going to someplace new. And because of that, you couldn't really grow deep roots.
While her husband Mark was deployed in the Air Force, Monica stayed home with her 4 kids. They both tried to make their house feel like a home, even if it was only for a little while.
It was exciting, but you never had that sense of like, this is my home. This is temporary, and I know this is temporary.
The move started to add up.
This was our 9th move here, and this is home.
Every time they moved to a new city, Mark and Monica would find the local bookstores. So when they finally settled down, they knew what they wanted to do next.
If he could dream up his ideal job for after working, after the military, after airlines, whatever else he's doing, what does he want to do? And he's like, I want to spend my time in a bookshop.
Those of you might recognize this name because it's actually inspired by a novel by John Steinbeck.
But the name Moose isn't just a literary nod, but also a tribute to Mark's call sign.
He's been known as Moose for almost 20 years.
The Brownings want the bookstore to be a place where
Take social media out and you take all the noise that you hear from every single direction all the time, and you connect with people face to face, you realize that you're so much more alike than you are different.
After searching for a place to call home, Mark and Monica have started a new chapter in Manulus. Reporting for Citrus TV News, I'm Sophia DiStasso.
Well, I know the bookstore is usually the first place I like to go to when it starts to get really, really cold out. It's a nice place to just cuddle up with a nice warm book, and I'm definitely starting to feel that here. I saw frost on the ground this morning.
I was about to say, Isabella, a bookstore that's perfect bookstore temperatures right now. It's gray, it's not warm anymore, and it's only going to get worse, which is what scares me.
I know, don't
so
say that,
much.
don't say that.
I'm thinking it's so cold now, but it's only going to get colder.
I know, it is only going to get colder.
While it's not absolutely freezing, I know our Roman Verna is outside. Roman, tell us a little bit about those temperatures going on right now.
Yeah, guys, well, 52 degrees right now is what we're seeing, and although that's a little colder than we saw, it's actually a lot warmer than we're going to expect going into the next week and later on, even today and tomorrow, and into, of course, Halloween weekend. But looking down behind me at Waverly Avenue, you can see sunset just finished, and that also means these sunsets are getting earlier and earlier. I know sometimes when I walk out of class, it's already pitch black out, and by the time I get home, forget about it. Lights are on everywhere. But you can also see these trees down beside me right here on Waverly Avenue. Some of them still have their leaves, other ones not so much. Getting into that W word, winter, I don't want to use it, but we're going to see some 30-degree temperatures tonight too. That's a little scary. No frost like we saw on Monday and yesterday, but still something to keep an eye out for with those lowering temperatures, and also some more stuff to keep an eye on for Halloween weekend coming up. But I'll have more on that on your full 5-day forecast coming up later in the show. Guys.
Roman, thank you so much. If you have some overdue parking tickets, well, there's some good news for you. The city of Syracuse is offering an amnesty period, which allows drivers to pay back late parking tickets at a lower cost. This is to try to collect back some of the money that it owes to the city. There are about 140,000 unpaid parking tickets in the city of Syracuse, worth more than $5 million. Neighbors who pay back during this amnesty period would pay the price of their initial parking ticket plus a $15 surcharge. This period will last from next Monday until November 21st.
Well, from those parking tickets to speeding tickets, starting next week, Syracuse school speed zone and red light cameras will start generating fines. During the 2-month grace period, which will now end on Sunday, the city says more than 95,000 violations were verified by police. Those violations resulted in a warning ticket, but now it'll be a $50 fine. 10 speed camera locations are not active yet, but when they are, they will also have a grace period before issuing fines.
We are now 4 weeks into the government shutdown, and New York State Attorney General Letitia James, along with 26 other state attorney generals and governors, are suing the U.S. Department of Agriculture for, quote, unlawfully suspending SNAP benefits. SNAP benefits are set to be suspended on Saturday, impacting the nearly 3 million New Yorkers who depend on this program. James argues that the USDA still has, quote, billions of dollars in contingency funds to continue issuing benefits. Governor Kathy Hochul announced yesterday that she is fast-tracking $30 million to support more than 16 million meals in New York State.
The New York State DMV is warning New Yorkers about how using fake IDs is not only a crime, but can also lead to identity theft. The warning was issued yesterday following more than 300 people being cited trying to use fake IDs to buy alcohol during summer concerts. According to ID verification company Verif, more than 30% of college students have admitted to buying a fake ID online. The DMV Commissioner J.F. Schroeder said, quote, buying a fake ID online is an invitation to have your identity stolen and to put your future in jeopardy, end quote. Well, over the last 5 months, CNY Jazz Central have hosted the jazz band Actual Proof. Last night was their last Monday night performance at the venue, but not the last we will see of the band. Our reporter Lucy Schaefer tells us more.
To friendship, community, and music. This is the longtime motto for the jazz band Actual Proof. One Monday of the month starting back in June, the quintet Actual Proof have been hosting jazz concerts at CNY Jazz Central. But longtime friends and musicians say it's more than a concert. It's jazz with a twist.
Straight ahead jazz and Latin and rock and soul and R&B, funk, all sort of came together to create what we would call contemporary jazz.
Playing in a smaller venue was a new feeling for the band. They were on the stage in more than background music at a club, which is something that was meaningful for their experience.
People are here because they want to actually hear the music. It's not just an added bonus to the room. So we're not just furniture, they're actually here to hear us try to create something.
Now, if you didn't make it out to Jazz Central to see Actual Proof, don't worry, you didn't miss their chance. There's going to be a special performance later in November.
The 21st would actually be a Jazz by the Lake booking. That's my series that's up at the Oswego Music Hall. Both Brian and Ronnie leave for Florida toward the end of the month of November, and I said, so when exactly do you leave? And they're like, not till the end of the month. I said, I have a date for you.
Jazz is more than just music. It has been in the lives of these musicians since they were kids. It brings people together and creates long-lasting friendships.
And I really thought about quitting and never playing again. And I realized what a mistake that would have been, because I didn't choose music, music chose me.
Reporting for Citrus TV News, I'm Lucy Schaefer.
When we come back, a judge is ordering Border Patrol meetings over force. Find out why next.
Plus, the U.S. continues its strikes on alleged drug boats. The latest death toll and more when we return.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're watching Citrus TV News Live at 6 with Isabella Galan, Jackson Breslin, and Roman Verna. And now, your campus news leader continues.
Welcome into News Live at 6. U.S. District Judge Sarah Ellis is ordering a senior Border Patrol official to give her daily briefings following weeks of confrontations between immigration agents and the Chicago public.
Judge Ellis felt her previous order restricting use of force, including tear gas, was not being followed. This comes following weekend reports of Border Patrol disrupting a children's Halloween parade with tear gas on Chicago's northwest side.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the U.S. military carried out 3 more strikes against alleged drug-running boats in the eastern Pacific Ocean, killing 14 people and leaving only 1 survivor. Hegseth said Mexican search and rescue authorities, quote, assumed responsibility for coordinating the rescue, but didn't explain whether that person had been rescued or was under U.S. or Mexican custody.
Now, this was the first time multiple strikes were announced on a single day, increasing the total death toll from the U.S.'s campaign against alleged drug runners to 57.
Now to the latest in the Middle East, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he ordered the military to carry out new strikes in Gaza. Those orders come just weeks after Israel and Hamas agreed to a ceasefire earlier this month, where Hamas was expected to return all Israeli hostage remains as soon as possible.
Netanyahu ordered the strikes after an Israeli official said Hamas had fired on their forces in southern Gaza. The ceasefire has largely held despite at least 2 previous flare-ups and violence.
And the Category 5 Hurricane Melissa has made landfall in Jamaica. With speeds reaching over 185 miles per hour, it's officially the strongest storm to hit Jamaica and the second strongest Atlantic hurricane in history.
Jamaica's Principal Director of Meteorological Service, Evan Thompson, said central parts of the nation could see up to 30 feet of rain over the next 2 days before impacting Cuba tomorrow morning.
And coming up on weather in your full 5-day forecast, we'll also have some more on the updates of Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica. Stay with us.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. A look at your full 5-day forecast now, and of course your spooky Halloween forecast. And I say spooky because, well, a lot of rain. The next 4 days after Wednesday, rain, rain, rain. Friday, though, just moderate rain, nothing too heavy, but of course, who wants that? And it's also the UNC game, so really just not a great day. But Saturday, that rain gonna clear up, and those temperatures gonna remain around the 40s, mid-40s, even getting into those high 40s a part of the day. But again, Saturday, those showers just in the morning, and by Sunday, those showers really just scattered, only here and there. But tomorrow, 53 degrees and more partly cloudy weather, very similar to what we saw today. Just more of that same fall sweater weather. But moving into the updates from Jamaica, you can see in Hurricane Melissa's newest radar here, this is just as of recent, the hurricane moving off the island, but still a Category 5, or actually decreasing, into a Category 4. But those high winds are still devastating the island, over 150 miles an hour of winds, and those are expected to continue into Cuba and even more north into the Caribbean as well. That's all I have for now, though, guys.
Thanks, Roman. Now the Syracuse men's basketball season tips off in less than a week. This year's roster features some exciting new talent, Jackson.
Citrus TV's Benjamin Lefkowitz has more on freshman Kyan, son of Carmelo Anthony, Syracuse basketball legend, and his impact on campus.
The legacy and tradition of Carmelo Anthony's number 15 in the Dome has defined Syracuse basketball. Melo led SU to the program's first national championship in 2003. A new generation begins on November 3rd when Carmelo's son Kyan hits the hardwood. Although it's impossible to compare Kyan to his Hall of Fame father, the story is a fascinating one. Standing by his father's side, 6-year-old Kyan Anthony watched his dad's jersey raised to the rafters, securing his place in Syracuse basketball immortality. Years later, the freshman is building his own brand, including a personal clothing line, appearing in different commercials, and inking sponsorship deals from DoorDash, New Era Caps, and American Eagle.
Got one right in front of you with your current athlete in Kian Anthony, right? And I'm not even talking about what his performance is going to be on the court.
Chris Carlson, an SU alum and Syracuse.com sports enterprise reporter, expects a major celebrity presence in the Dome this year.
At times with Syracuse basketball where a lot of casual fans were excited by celebrities. Adam Weitzman was a guy, a local guy who brought a lot of celebrities to games, and I think this will be like that on steroids.
The buzz around Kian on campus has affected merchandise sales as well. Mike Theis, the manager of Manny's, has over 40 years of experience selling Syracuse apparel. He has seen the impact of Kian's presence on sales.
It's been very strong. When we first launched Kian's clothing line, which is behind me, the first 2 weeks it sold really well. There was a lot of interest in it, and then we brought the jerseys in, those sold really well, and we've reordered those a couple of times.
While the hype is real for the four-star recruit, at the end of the day, what matters most are the results on the court. Syracuse basketball had its worst season in over 50 years last year and has not made the NCAA tournament since 2021. Mike Waters knows Orange fans need something to cheer for this season.
All the preseason buzz anybody can create is great, but usually it ends a few games into the season, and it definitely will end with the first loss of the year. And then after that, it's what happens on the court as to whether fans get excited or not.
For Citrus TV News, I'm Benjamin Lefkowitz.
Well, Syracuse men's basketball might have a little bit of optimism going into this season, but Syracuse football has not been off to a great stretch. The Orange are 0-4 in the last 4 games, featuring a loss to 7th-ranked Georgia Tech over the weekend. That prompted some questions about SU's QB battle, maybe why Ricky Collins hasn't been the QB that everybody may have hoped for back in the preseason.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
If you took a pen and wanted to draw a line down to the spot where Syracuse's football season did a complete 180, it would be pretty easy. Welcome into sports. I'm Josh Richardson. The issues with the Orange stem pretty obviously from SU's midseason quarterback change. After Steve Angeli's season-ending Achilles tear, redshirt sophomore Ricky Collins has not gotten the job done. The LSU transfer has thrown 7 interceptions in 4 games as QB1. While it seemed to everyone during the offseason that the battle between Angeli and Collins was close, well now, maybe not so much.
If you look at where Steve was at, we were 3-1. We beat probably one of the biggest games in Syracuse history was won down at Clemson, and then it kind of went from highs to the high to like all of a sudden, right? So I think he has a long way to go to get to that point. You hope that it could happen this week or ever, you know what I mean? We're gonna compete though when it comes to quarterback right now.
The Orange comes this Friday when SU hosts North Carolina. Kickoff from the Dome is at 7:30. Over on the court, while Syracuse men's basketball opened its season with an exhibition against Buffalo over the weekend, women's hoops had to wait a few more days. Tonight, SU battles Damon to begin its campaign for the second straight season. Last year, the Orange beat the Wildcats 90-50 for a season-opening exhibition win. Felicia Leggett-Jack's squad looks wildly different than it did a year ago. Syracuse returns just one starter and adds 4 transfers and 4 freshmen to the team. The Orange were picked to finish 13th out of 18 during this year's ACC preseason poll. Tip-off from the Dome tonight is slated for 7. Over in baseball, the Fall Classic continues tonight. The Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Game 4 of the World Series. Game 3 was a doozy. 18 innings. LA came out on top 6-5. If you stayed up and you caught that, man, I hope you got some sleep at some point during the day because that one was a great game. Pitching matchup in this one, Shane Bieber versus Shohei Ohtani. Now, Ohtani yesterday got on base 9 times. He hit 2 home runs, had 2 doubles as well. He can do just about everything that you could ever want for in a player. Bieber has pitched pretty well in this postseason as well, mid-3s for his ERA. First pitch from Dodger Stadium at 8 o'clock tonight. And now over onto the court. Back on the court, the Knicks battle the Bucks tonight, so that's over in the New York sports aspect of things. Knicks and the Bucks from Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee. New York's been off to a hot start so far this season, already beat the Cavs. If you ask a lot of people, the Knicks might be the favorite to come out of the Eastern Conference, definitely the favorite to come out of the Atlantic Division. So the big thing for the Knicks is really just to keep up everything that they're going. New head coach Mike Brown has done a fantastic job so far, and now just hoping to continue that going.
Josh, thanks so much. When we come back, we'll have one last look at your wake-up weather. Stick with us.
I didn't really.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
And now one last look at your wake-up weather. About 34 degrees, partly cloudy and scary. Ooh, 2 degrees away from freezing. I know that's not what we want to see, but 'tis the season after all.
'Tis the season indeed, Roman. But you know what? Despite the cold weather today, we celebrate one of America's favorite flavors, chocolate. Some of the most famous types of chocolate are unsweetened baking chocolate, dark, sweet, white, and ruby chocolate.
Yeah, and not only does chocolate taste good, but people also report craving chocolate when they're feeling states of stress, anxiety, or low mood. And I don't think any of us have any of those, but I know I am definitely still craving some chocolate. We got a good plethora in front of us. What do we got here, guys?
I mean, I've already taken about 5 different Snickers, just saving them for later
Spelt them
because
out?
I gotta have them. And then we've also got some M&Ms, some
What is
Twix.
everybody's favorite type of chocolate?
Oh, you know what? I feel like milk chocolate.
Yeah,
It might be basic,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
I also like white chocolate.
It's so versatile. Like you look
It
at
really
something like a
is.
Snickers bar and it's milk chocolate. It's something like you don't need dark chocolate and something like that. Although I respect eating
I'm not a dark
chocolate on its
chocolate
own,
fan.
just out of a bar.
I'm not.
Well, I also like some caramel, but also Reese's peanut butter cups are the best ever. But that is all we have for you on Citrus TV Live at 6 for this Tuesday.
Well, don't forget you can follow us on X and Instagram at Citrus TV News. Now for the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Jackson Breslin.
And I'm Isabella Galan. Have a great night, Syracuse.